61. The Day of Humility. A great state that is useful is like a bond of unity within the empire. It is the empire's wife. The female controls the male by her quietude and submission. Thus, a great state by its service to smaller states wins their allegiance. A small state by submission to a great state wins an influence over them. Thus, some stoop to conquer, and others stoop and conquer. Great states can have no higher purpose than to federate states and feed the people. Small states can have no higher purpose than to enter a federation and serve the people. Both alike, each in his own way, gain their end, but to do so, the greater must practice humility. 62. The Practice of Dao. The Tao is the asylum of all things, the good man's treasure, the bad man's last resort. With beautiful words one may sell goods, but in winning, people can accomplish more by kindness. Why should a man be thrown away for his evil? To conserve him was the emperor appointed and the 3 ministers. Better than being in the presence of the emperor and riding with 4 horses is sitting and explaining this Tao. The reason the ancients esteemed Tao was because if sought, it was obtained, and because by it he that hath sin could be saved. Is it not so? Therefore, the world honors Tao. 63. A consideration of beginnings. One should avoid assertion and practice inaction. One should learn to find taste in the tasteless, to enlarge the small things and multiply the few. He should respond to hatred with kindness. He should resolve a difficulty while it is easy, and manage a great thing while it is small. Surely all the world's difficulties arose from slight causes, and all the world's great affairs had small beginnings. Therefore, the wise man avoids to the end participation in great affairs, and by doing so establishes his greatness. Rash promises are lacking in faith, and many things that appear easy are full of difficulties. Therefore, the wise man considers everything difficult, and so to the end he has no difficulties. 64. Consider the insignificant. That which is at rest is easily restrained. That which has not yet appeared is easily prevented. The weak is easily broken. The scanty is easily scattered. Consider a difficulty before it arises, and administer affairs before they become disorganized. A tree that it takes both arms to encircle grew from a tiny rootlet. A pagoda of 9 stories was erected by placing small bricks. A journey of 3,000 miles begins with 1 step. If one tries to improve a thing, he mars it. If he seizes it, he loses it. The wise man, therefore, not attempting to form things, does not mar them, and not grasping after things, he does not lose them. The people in their rush for business are ever approaching success, but continually failing. One must be as careful to the end as at the beginning if he is to succeed. Therefore, the wise man desires to be free from desire. He does not value the things that are difficult of attainment. He learns to be unlearned. He returns to that which all others ignore. In that spirit, he helps all things toward their natural development, but dares not interfere. 65. The Tay of Simplicity. In the olden days, those who obeyed the spirit of Dao did not enlighten the people, but kept them simple-hearted. The reason people are difficult to govern is because of their smartness. Likewise, to govern a people with guile is a curse, and to govern them with simplicity is a blessing. He who remembers these two things is a model ruler. Always to follow this standard and rule is Tay, the profound. Profound Tay is deep indeed and far-reaching, the very opposite of common things, but by it one obtains obedient subjects. 66. To subordinate self. The reason rivers and seas are called the kings of the valley is because they keep below them. Therefore, the wise man desiring to be above his people must in his demeanor keep below them. Wishing to benefit his people, he must ever keep himself out of sight. The wise man dwells above, yet the people do not feel the burden. He is the leader, and the people suffer no harm. Therefore, the world rejoices to exalt him, and never wearies of him. Because he will not quarrel with anyone, no one can quarrel with him. 67. 3 treasures. All the world calls Tao great, yet it is by nature immaterial. It is because a thing is seemingly unreal that it is great. If a man affects to be great, how long can he conceal his mediocrity? Tao has 3 treasures which he guards and cherishes. The first is called compassion. The second is called economy. The third is called humility. A man that is compassionate can be truly brave. If a man is economical, he can be generous. If he is humble, he can become a useful servant. If one discards compassion and is still brave, abandons economy and is still generous, forsakes humility and still seeks to be serviceable, his days are numbered. On the contrary, if one is truly compassionate, in battle he will be a conqueror, and in defense he will be secure. When even heaven helps people, it is because of compassion that she does so. 68. Compliance with heaven. He who excels as a soldier is the one who is not warlike. He who fights the best fight is not wrathful. He who best conquers an enemy is not quarrelsome. He who best employs people is obedient himself. This is the virtue of not quarreling. This is the secret of bringing out other men's ability. This is complying with heaven. Since of old it is considered the greatest virtue. 69. The function of the mysterious. A military expert has said, "I do not dare put myself forward as a host, but always act as a guest. I hesitate to advance an inch, but am willing to withdraw a foot." This is advancing by not advancing. It is winning without arms. It is charging without hostility. It is seizing without weapons. There is no mistake greater than making light of an enemy. By making light of an enemy, we lose our treasure. Therefore, when well-matched armies come to conflict, the one who is conscious of his weakness conquers. 70. The difficulty of understanding. My words are very easy to understand and very easy to put into practice. Yet in all the world, no one appears to understand them or to practice them. Words have an ancestor, deeds have a master, and just as these are often not understood, so I am not understood. They who understand me are very few, and on that account I am worthy of honor. The wise man wears wool rather than silk, and keeps his gems out of sight.